What is up? This is Friday Night Live. My name is Gary, and we are drinking some beers right now. Special tasting today, Ale Works 4-year anniversary. I'm tasting through a bunch of their beers, including some very special barrel-aged beers that they put together to celebrate this occasion. But I'm not going to jump into the barrel-aged beers just yet. I got to warm up a little bit. You know, I got to have my training wheels, got to warm up that palate, and we're going to do so with some hoppy beers. You know I like my hoppy beers. What's going on, guys? I see Naughty Pine, Mr. 2020, Jeremiah, what's going on, Pillow Man? How's it going? So as always, you gotta be drinking some beers along with me. I can't do this alone. That's just pathetic. So if you're drinking some beers, let me know. Comment in, tell me what you're drinking. And if you're not drinking beers, what the hell are you doing with your Friday? Head over to your beer fridge and crack open that beer that you've been eyeing all week long. Let's do this. All right, kicking things off today with a style of beer that you just don't really see that often. It's not that brewers don't brew this style, it's just that it's known by very different names depending on who's brewing it. And this beer today is Space IPA. Los Angeles Ale Works kicked off this. Los Angeles Ale Works released this beer very early in their existence, and it is a nod to SpaceX, which is kind of just around the corner from the brewery. So XPA meaning hoppy, but lighter in alcohol, maybe a little bit lighter in body as well. And from the can here, we have a 6.5% beer that's hopped with Wakatu and Mosaic. Very nice. It says exploration starts here. Look past the horizon for flavorful malt beneath an explosive citrus atmosphere. So you gotta love that can. Just really cool experience there. And this is kind of like one of their flagships that they have. That Ale Works puts out a ton of beer all the time. So it's hard to say that they have a flagship, but this is a regular part of their rotation here. And I'm excited to crack into it. So for everyone just joining, remember, comment in, let me know what you're drinking. I want to hear it. Got a bunch of people joining in here. Lots of familiar faces. Patrick Z is sipping on some Celador. Gemini Doll, good to see you. How are you? Tyler's Brews in here. Brewer Britt joined. B. Einhorn back in the chat. What's going on, dude? Brewer Britt's drinking Toppling Goliath Pseudo Suit. Nice. You saved the good stuff for Fridays, huh? Last Drop Beer Fest in the house. What's going on, guys? Howie Seller. Good to see you. All right. Tyler's drinking her shitty homebrew. I'm sure it's not shitty. Jeremiah's drinking Boomtown Mic Check. Woo! Rye J. Reyes drinking Barracuda from Highland Park. That was just released, what, today or yesterday or the other day? Fresh beer from Highland Park. Nice. Pello Man drinking that Infernal Combustion from North Park. Callie and Callie drinking El Segundo Power Plant. Nice. Lots of good stuff. LA Works just joined. Big Bad Wolf. What's going on, brother? All right. Lots of friends here, and I'm going to get back to the beer while everyone's joining in. And as always, comment in. Let me know what you're drinking. We got Space IPA to kick things off for this evening. Been a little bit since I've had this beer. Hoppy goodness. Delicious nose. Just really fresh citrus, little tropical character. Bright. Nice looking beer too. Just a slight chill haze on it, but a really beautiful kind of brilliant gold. Nice and carbonated. You got a nice head on it too. It's like large bubbles, almost this is the definition of foamy, you know, like a head that's foamy. It's not like silky, it's not frothy. It's got a nice, just like hefty head. Really like that. Really like that. I'm wondering what they use in the grist to kind of create that head, because it's really nice looking. Ooh, that is good. That is a gulper. Like once that hits your lips, maybe it's because it's the first beer of the day for me, But first beer of the week, really. Once it hits your lips, it just wants to keep going down. It's got a really light body. The sweetness is really dialed back there. And bitterness is really dialed back too. You get like a hit of bitterness, but it's very mild and just really delicious citrus and tropical flavors. Orange, grapefruit. Delicious nose. Really like this beer. This is a wonderful beer to kick things off because it's not too light where it's almost like you need to go into 2 beers to warm up. Like this is just like a really good one to get things started. Relatively sessionable and incredibly drinkable. Really good. So, like I was saying, this is Space XPA, and if you've had this beer, definitely drop a comment. Let us know what you think of it. This is kind of an Ale Works classic right here. Started out draft only and then made its way into these beautiful cans. Just really cool. I love cans that tell a story, that have an experiential component to it, and that's what this beer does. So, yeah, in normal times, Ale Works tap room, you can find a lot of SpaceX employees hanging out there after work. So SpaceX is, it's a fabric of, the South Bay and of Hawthorne and of LA Ale Works and the Common Space tap rooms as well. Just, yeah, great community. So as we're revving things up, getting ready for the barrel-aged beers, jumping into beer number 2. We're moving along quickly because the last 3 are heavy hitters. The last 3 are going to be rough. And I got a couple Frank the Tank comments in here. And absolutely, I'm channeling my inner Frank the Tank for these lighter beers because when I get down to those dark barrel-aged beers, it's going to be a different experience for sure. So next up, we have a very fun beer, Scrapalicious. This is a juicy IPA. And it's an homage to LA Ale Works Brewery cat. And if you follow them on social media, you know this cat. You've seen many pictures of this cat, and it's a very interesting and fun personality. I love watching Kip, their head brewer and co-owner, co-founder of LA Ale Works. He does these videos, beer tasting videos, and Scrappy is usually kind of right nearby, getting in his face, messing up his flow with the beer. And this cat just seems like a really cool cat. And wow, what timing here, because Scrapalicious just joined the chat. Meow. All right, we're gonna drink your beer, Scrappy. So, Juicy IPA, 7.5%. And while Juicy IPA, I guess, is one of those styles that sits somewhere around hazy IPA, maybe sits somewhere in the middle between West Coast and hazy. I don't know if there's kind of like a true stylistic definition for it, but the name conjures up exactly what you're supposed to experience in the beer, in that there's like a juicy fruit flavor to these beers usually, and usually a little bit of softness too. So Juicy IPA, Scrappalicious, 7.5%. And this is hopped with Brew 1, which I haven't heard of. It's hopped with Laurel, and it's hopped with Sabro. Enjoy this cheerful juice explosion dedicated to our brewery cat and be whiskered away by pure, portly fearlessness. So, gotta love a cat. Even if you're not a cat lover, I mean, a brewery cat's a different type of animal, They're important. They give a brewery much needed levity and personality, so it's pretty cool. I gotta jump into these comments here. I'm missing a lot. Can't go back too far. Let's see. Russell, what's going on? Drinking that big chicken. All right. We're gonna crack open Scrapalicious here. And for anyone that's followed me a little bit, I'm not a Sabro guy, usually. So let's see how I experience Sabro in this one. Okay, you got that classic LA Ale Works murkiness to it. I feel like they have kind of like a signature murk. Some breweries have that look of a beer that defines kind of what you think of them for a lot of the beers they put out. Ale Works puts out a lot of juicy IPAs, and this look is very familiar to me. So I think in this instance, just from an appearance standpoint, juicy can be interchangeable with hazy. It definitely has that for sure hazy murk on it, but it's light, it's bright, it's not unappealing, it's glowing like a really nice yellow orange. Nice nose. What's up, Mega Man? Last Drop Beer Fest. Who's doing good tiki influenced beers in LA right now? Good question. I know there's a few. None that are like that I can think of that are in consistent availability. But Common Space does a tiki inspired beer called Dawn's Day. I'm pretty sure that Beechwood did a tiki inspired beer. I think that was a collab with Beechwood. I don't know. I can't think of it right now. But I know Common Space has one. All right, just a really nice looking beer. So whether you're on the hazy train or you're not, I think anyone can agree this looks nice. This is nice and bright and light. Let's give it a try. This is certainly tropical. Really nice orange, coconut, almost getting like a vanilla. This, I mean, maybe this is just the power of suggestion right here, but we're talking tiki in the chat, and I'm getting tiki in my brain now just drinking this. So I do feel like the hop combination here, while not intentionally trying to be an overtly tiki style beer, does have a lot of the flavor characteristics that that kind of make you think tiki. So just, yeah, fresh orange, coconut, pineapple. Really nice. I mean, this is just, it's bright, it's fresh, it's not overly sweet, which I think can be the downfall of beers like this for me. I personally could use a little bit more bitterness in this beer to kind of like round out the back end. But overall, like, flavors here coming together really well. I think most people would really like this. Let's see. Alvarado's on the list. Yeah, check out Celador. I'm not sure if they still have that beer, but yeah, they did that tiki beer. I have one in my cellar. I haven't tried it yet though. How do I put the cat filter on? I don't even know how to. Oh wait, let me try it. Hopefully this doesn't screw up this thing. No, I can't figure it out. No, not gonna do it. All right, so getting through Scrappalicious here. Very nice tropical tasting beer. So if you're familiar with LA Ale Works, comment and let me know what's your favorite beer from LA Ale Works. They put out so much beer. That's what I think of when I think of LA Ale Works. I think of just how prolific they are in releasing beer. And also, I think I was thinking about this before, like how accessible their beer is. And I feel like you can see at least one LA Ale Works beer in most good bottle shops in LA. And then they're also in like Whole Foods, and I'm sure in the South Bay they're way more prevalent. But here in the Valley, you're definitely seeing them at like Whole Foods and things like that. So their beer is accessible, and they brew a lot of different beers, which is really cool. And so during normal times, that beer was typically found on tap at their tap room. And now they've just been putting tons of beer into cans and sometimes releasing like 2, 3, 4 beers a week, which is crazy. I mean, we're seeing a couple other breweries doing that, but when I think of just how much beer LA Ale Works is putting out, they're really at the top of my list in terms of how many different SKUs, how many different brands they're putting out. And the cool thing is they're not just like cranking out beer just to get it out and to move on to the next one. There's really cool branding behind these beers. There's thoughtfulness. And again, I have to call out my boy Kip at LA Ale Works. You gotta be following him at Beercast, Bierkast, who does like video reviews of the beers like right before they come out. He just does such a good job. There's just, when I think about LA Ale Works, I think about people who care, people who give a shit. And while you can say that about a lot of brewers in Los Angeles, I think LA Ale Works is like right up there at the top with just people who care a lot about the beer, about their customers, about the experience. I think that's what sets them apart in my mind. So it's not just a quantity, getting as much beer out there as possible, but it's getting it out there in a way that, makes people smile, that makes them feel closer to the brand. And from a marketing background that I have, like, that's what it's all about. So well done to LA Ale Works and to Scrappy too. So we just finished drinking Scrapalicious. We're about to head into the final warm-up beer number 3. And I think it just goes to show how heavy and deep this lineup is here, where the back half needs 3 warm-up beers just to get into it, but we're gonna do it here. So this is Lunar Kitten. It's a West Coast IPA, and the cat theme continues. This is hopped with Simcoe. So 100% Simcoe here, it looks like. What's the percentage? I'm gonna find that. 7.5%. And this is a West Coast IPA. And let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, we have a very different appearance from the last beer. We're getting a very nice gold here. Orange tinted gold. Perfectly clear. Nice little head on top. Densely packed, tiny bubbles. We have good nucleation, good carbonation here, just on the appearance at least. Nice clean nose. Not getting a ton of big hop character on the nose. Like up front, you kind of have to dig for it a little bit. So, which is kind of cool for me, because I think a lot of beers that call themselves West Coast IPA tend to go heavy on the tropical fruit, especially these days where everyone wants that big fruity character. And so the nose of this beer, it's got a little bit of that, but it's like herbal, it's a little bit dank, but it's subtle. This is a subtle nose. It's not screaming out at you. It makes me just want to dig into the taste. So I'm going to do that. Super clean. Great bitterness on this beer. Again, this is a really cool West Coast IPA because it's very well balanced. Like, in terms of flavor, I'm not like, oh wow, I'm getting this like one big flavor or these 2 big flavors. It's making me like work to find something, which makes me almost want to stop doing that. This is, beer that tastes like beer, nice bitterness, really great West Coast IPA. This is a outdoors, sitting in the sunshine and just enjoying life type of West Coast IPA. It's simple, it's clean. That Simcoe's giving it like a little bit of herbal character. It's giving it a little bit of grassiness as well, but just solid bitterness. Really, really nice. That 100% Simcoe here is delicious. Great malt body. Whatever is in the grist here, no, I don't have that, I don't think. Oh yeah, I do. Pilsner malt, Maris Otter, and rye malt. So that combination here is working beautifully with the Simcoe. You got just enough kind of crackery malt character on it. Just a little bit of sweetness, but it's very, very nice. A little spiciness from the rye too. Conrad just cracked Scrappalicious. Nice. That's a juicy one. That's tropical. I don't know if I was just being like influenced by everyone talking about tiki, but I was like, oh man, I'm drinking tiki right now. All right, let's move on. It's time for the main event. it's time. I could actually sip on this one the entire time. This one, I don't know, Space XP is pretty dope, but this one's really good. This is just like straightforward, really enjoyable, not gonna make you work too hard. Good stuff. All right, let's do this. We're going big, we're going barrel aged, let's do it. So LA Ale Works, 4th anniversary. Man, time flies. You know, you gotta give it up to LA Ale Works, persisting and growing and evolving and adapting and doing what it takes to come out strong on the other end of this pandemic. The changes that they made to their outdoor space. I mean, if you guys remember going to LA Ale Works in the early days where they had that like smaller patio, they basically have taken over that parking lot and turned it into something that's really, really cool, putting out a ton of beer in cans, like we were saying. I haven't heard any recent updates, but they are opening up that second tap room in Culver City, which is awesome. Just another way to get their beer into customers' hands. And I think Culver City, I mean, they could use more spots. I mean, there's not really any breweries there, so that's really cool. Yeah, just evolving over 4 years. This is Heavy Impulse. This is a bourbon barrel aged English style barley wine. I'm gonna give a shout out here to Brian Holter for the design. Super awesome. And he did the design for all 3 of these cans. I don't know, just this is a really rad design. Simplistic but fun, and there's just I like how the head of the spaceman kind of looks like the face of a watch. I don't know if there's anything to that, but that's pretty rad. So Barleywine, a style that I really don't have all too often, especially the English style barley wine. I don't know enough about barley wines to know what the difference is. It's kind of fresh in my mind because Rose, who is not on this chat, I don't think, but Rose on our team just did a video comparing some American barley wines. And so I think the main differentiator with those was that you're going to be getting some more kind of like American hop character, some of that like citrus, some of that pine. Whereas I think with this, we're not going to be getting that. We're going to be utilizing more noble hops and English hops. So it's going to be less like in your face. So yeah, this one is 12.17%. Or 12.1, that's what it is. And let's see, I have some notes here. Like I said, you gotta follow Kip, Beercast, because he loves to share this story behind some of these beers, and he sent me over some notes, so I'm super appreciative. I'm not gonna read them all to you. I don't know, maybe I'll read it. I think it's actually pretty interesting. So I'm gonna just read you guys a little bit from what he sent me. So from Kip, this is the first year we've released Heavy Impulse as a packaged beer. Rather than blend it in different barrel beers, we decided to go 100% 1-year-old barley wine, and the result is fantastic. While the non-barrel aged version of this beer is great, the barrel aged varietal underwent some remarkable evolution during its 1-year rest. The beer pours a tawny auburn. Let's pour it while we talk about that, right? Okay, let's crack it open. Whoa! Whoa! All right. Little party in a can here. What's up, Dave? How's it going, man? Oh, man. This beer smells so good. I'm like smelling it. It's all over me. All right. Let's wipe this off. So, let's get this in the light. Beer pours a tawny auburn with ruby highlights and a creamy off-white head, which is dissipated pretty quickly here. Wow, this nose is crazy. So he's giving me notes of tropical coconut and pineapple dominate the aroma, along with cherry, oak, and caramel. Wow. Okay, let's check this nose out. This is delicious. I'm getting what's that candy? What is that? Choose. What is that? Hey, Caroline. What's that candy? The, what? No. Those dark ones. You always got them for Halloween and you just like threw them away. You guys know what I'm talking about. Those dark chews. They're like in a black wrapper. Oh, why is that escaping me? Anyways, it's a Halloween candy that's like dark. It's got like a chocolatey chewiness to it. And I can't even remember what they are. Tootsie Rolls. There you go. It's Tootsie Roll. I'm getting Tootsie Roll. 100%. I can't believe I forgot about that. Yeah, Tootsie Roll. Wow. I've obviously been drinking way too much. Great vanilla on this nose. Tootsie Roll, vanilla. He's telling me a lot of tropical. I don't think my brain would have gotten there organically. But coconut for sure. Really great nose. A lot of times when I'm going into a barley wine, I'm thinking that dried dark fruit. On the nose, I'm not totally getting there because it's got a really nice sweetness. So my brain is kind of like sticking with that Tootsie Roll, that vanilla, that coconut. Very nice. Okay, let's dig into it. And that head is gone. So head retention is extremely low, which is totally fine, I think, for this style. Ooh, I'm getting kind of like a little, kind of like caramel apple. I think the caramel apple kind of plays through here. Like, I don't know. Tootsie Rolls coming through on the flavor as well. Brew Crew DC says butthole, which, no, I'm not getting that. I know what that is. So Kip says toffee, toast, chocolate, piloncillo, plum, and raisin. With a pleasantly dry tannic finish. The tannic finish is 100% there. I always, my origin of tannins and tannic finishes usually come from the wine world. And if you're familiar with that experience, you're definitely getting that here. Like a couple sips in, that dryness on your tongue, those tannins are kind of drying you out a little bit. Werther's Original. Yeah, a little bit of chocolate. One of the things that I've always wanted to research and I just never been motivated, maybe after this I will. Piloncillo, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It sounds like it's like a Spanish word and I'm like butchering it completely. But I don't know what that is and I'd like to find out exactly what it is and taste it. Pello Band, is that what it is? Unrefined whole cane sugar? This is a sweet beer. It hides its booze wonderfully. You're not getting any booziness whatsoever. It's not harsh. It is really well balanced. It almost leans dessert. Like it's got a really nice sweetness that honestly I could use a little bit more kind of like heat on this beer just to kind of balance it out. But I think for like the English style barley wine, I think this is where it's supposed to be going. I think it's supposed to be a little bit kind of more on that sweeter side. Again, I don't know that style specification all too well, but this is a really nice beer that really holds its own. Like, I don't know, this 12 ounce can could get you. I'm saying this beer could get you. 12.1%, doesn't drink like it whatsoever. Maybe drinks like an 8. Yeah, maybe as it warms, it will reveal the heat. I took the beers out about 15 minutes before I started this to hopefully warm them up a bit. But yeah, it is still a little bit cool. And I'm pretty sure it would reveal a little bit more heat. It'd probably get a little bit thicker too, because it does drink a little thin, but I think that's totally fine for the English style barley wine. Brews with Masters join. What's going on? I don't do the wave thing. I need to start doing the wave. All right. So we're going to do a quick recap. We're going to reset the room a little bit. What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining. For anyone who's just joining in, Cellar Bottle Shop, got to shout you out. One of the best bottle shops in LA. What's going on, man? So we're doing a special tasting for LA Ale Works 4th anniversary. And we kick things off with Space IPA, one of their classic beers. Great light hoppy beer to start things off. Moved into Scrappalicious, a Juicy IPA, which is extremely tropical. We were all talking about how that could be essentially labeled a tiki beer, you know, coconut, pineapple, orange, really delicious. Next up, we did Lunar Kitten, the West Coast IPA. Really nice, straightforward, just open it up, drink it, and enjoy type of beer. Really, really good. And then that was the warm-up. Then we got into the main event, the barrel-aged beers. This is the English-style Barleywine, barrel-aged, 12.1% heavy impulse. Really, really nice beer that I'm starting to feel the heat in the belly. You know, it's kind of like starting the fire. I got the wood rubbing together, and we're gonna, you know, light a match and start that fire up next because we're moving into a bourbon barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout. Oh, wow. Russian Attack. This is the third vintage of this beer, and for anyone that was tuning in December, I did a side-by-side of 2018 versus 2019 Russian Attack. I wish I saved them. Because this is 2021, or wait, this is, yeah, the 2020-2021 version. This is the third one that they did, and complete new design. So if you see this beer and you're like, that doesn't look like Russian Attack, it's the same beer. This is just a brand new package for it. It looks completely different, and I like it. Again, Brian Holter, killing the design. What's going on? All right, I'm gonna go into these comments. I'm missing a bunch. Pella man, Gary's about to start blushing. It's starting, man. I'm heating up. The lights are heating me up. The majority designer beers are from LA Ale Works. Yes, very, very good. This is a great package. So yeah, let's get into this beer a little bit. We have a 12.5% stout, and this is blended. So I know in years past they did the bourbon barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout that they blended with some fresh stout to kind of round things out and kind of freshen things up a little bit, give it a little bit more character, a little bit more freshness. This one they blended even more, so 67% Russian Imperial Stout, 16.5% Imperial Stout, and then 16.5% English barley wine. So we got a nice little blend here. And let's see, let me go through some of what Kip sent me. So we have a smoothly decadent ganache with pleasant edges of bittersweet baker's chocolate. He's gonna give me the aromas right now. I'm gonna crack it open and then read them to you. Let's see if this one explodes like the last one. It does. Woo! All right, mop on aisle 3. Mop on aisle 3. Sorry, my wife is like, dude, you're an idiot. So, Russian Attack. Woo! I have it all over me. I am wearing Russian Attack right now. This is a extremely dark beer with a nice dark brown head. Very frothy. It's hanging on for a sec here. And really nice nose. Oh man, it's all over my hands. Times are tough. You could have given me like a millimeter, huh? Sorry, I just dug into it because I had to. All right, let me rewind a sec. Let's get back into the nose. This is a beautiful nose. Aromas of bourbon-soaked oak, vanillin, and cafe latte are followed by flavors of velvety smooth mocha. And that's really what you're getting here. It's chocolate dominant for sure. I'm not getting like the cafe latte thing. No coffee, no cream. It's really just like dark chocolate, a little bit of milk chocolate. It's really kind of all over the chocolate board with some really nice bourbon character. The bourbon soaked oak is right on point. Where on the last beer I was like, hey, give me a little bit more bourbon here. This beer steps in and says, here we go. Just completely well balanced. It's extremely strong. It's like aggressively bourbon, but without being over the top. So first off on this beer, I really like the mouthfeel. I think with some of these beers, they can get a little bit of like really thick and syrupy. And this beer really kind of keeps it drinking silky. There is a thickness to it, but it's not over the top. It does kind of move along really fast on the palate. Really, really nice. Nice maple syrup component to it that I wasn't expecting. The chocolate is there for sure. It's like the Tootsie Rolls from the last one sat in a chocolate bath for a year and a half, and then you put them in your mouth. It's very big chocolate. You're getting kind of like campfire-y vibes off of this, where there's like, I guess kind of the char from the barrel is giving you like a little bit of that kind of like campfire smokiness. It's not smoky by any means, but I think that barrel char really plays in here. The vanilla or vanillins from the oak is also coming into play, giving you kind of coming in as like replacing that marshmallow side of things. My hands are so sticky, covered in beer. This is a really nice beer. Man, I would have loved to taste this against the two older vintages. Just because fresh, this is delicious. Super, super good. So let me see if I'm missing anything on the description here. Yeah, I think what Kip notes is pretty interesting. The body is hefty, but the finish is dry, 100%. It's not one of those like 16% like adjunct stouts that just kind of like sit on your palate and make it a chore to drink. I think we've all had those, 22 ounce bottles that, oh, thank you. Sorry, I got a little cleanup. Took a little bit. I think we've all had those 22 ounce bottles of like that 15% stout that has like almonds and maple syrup and marshmallows and all that crap, and it just all ends up becoming such a chore to drink it. For me personally these days, I just don't even get there. I can never finish them. This beer, it drinks hefty, but it drinks dry. So I really like what Kip's saying on this. The dog is licking up the beer. And then he says, previous years had Russian attack on the rougher side, but the addition of a bigger stout and barley wine have rounded out the rough edges. It's a great component, a great counterpoint. It's a great counterpoint to Wizard's Stash, which is the next beer we're about to drink. So really appreciate this Russian Imperial Stout from Ale Works. This is really good. I would never consider myself a barley wine guy, so I definitely enjoyed it and it was really nice. But if I'm going dark, this is usually what I'm looking for. It's got that aggressive bourbon character. It's got that deep chocolate sweetness that you want. A little bit of dark chocolate bitterness as well. And just a really nice balance overall. So this is one that, I kind of wish I had a few more of them. Maybe I can squirrel away a couple more. But just to hang on to over time. And they're packaged in these nice little 12-ounce cans where you can open one up and have one and not have to like dump out 3/4 of a bottle. So really nice beer. If you haven't picked this beer up, I'm giving my recommendation right now. This is what I would go for. This is a great beer. I'd pick up the mix pack and try them all, and then I'd pick up an additional 4-pack just of this one. But maybe I shouldn't speak too soon because Wizard Stash is next, and I gotta try that one. Fernie Pad, what's going on, man? We're deep in the Ale Works tasting. We're deep right now. We're going into the last beer, Wizard Stash. It is cool to the touch. It is not cold anymore. So I think that we warmed this up appropriately over the last like hour. Jane Nance just cracked the Wizard Stash. Wow, okay. You're getting me excited. So this is what the kids all like. This is the Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Pastry Stout. This is the collab with Bottle Logic, the Pastry Stout Wizards. And I'm really excited to get into this one. The adjunct list here is going to be interesting because I don't think I've had anything like this before. This one has pistachios, vanilla, and lactose. Okay, it's one of those beers. Let's see, what's the 12.8%? And I keep seeing Spumoni. So Spumoni on the can, Spumoni in Kip's notes here. So I grew up on Spumoni. It's like a pistachio ice cream. It's like Neapolitan, but with like pistachio ice cream. So I think it's an Italian ice cream. But I'm excited. I haven't had anything like that in a while. Notes of rich fudge, cream, and Spumoni. Okay, I'm down. So if you have a nut allergy, stay away from this beer. You do not want anything to do with this beer. Give it to me. All right, let's try this. Let's see if this one explodes like the last one. Yeah, man, it's hefty. It didn't explode though. I'm smart now. Oh, all right, it did a little. See? All right, let's do this. It's dark. It's dark. It's got that like reddish brown tint to the head too. Kind of scares me. Yeah, I got the cleanup on aisle 3 here. All right, let's see what Kip has told us here about this beer. But again, just like the last two. Oh, first, Ernie Gunn, Jimbo Pills. Nice. I need to get that. I really want to get that. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, I really want to try that beer. So yeah, again, like the first two beers, got to call out the design. Wizard Stash here, designed by Brian Holter. Super cool. Super, super cool. I mean, I guess it's like a mustachioed wizard. I think I want to draw, I need a picture of Mr. 2020, Jeremiah. I want to put your picture behind that can. See what you look like with the wizard hat and the mustache. I don't know if you're still in the chat, but that's for you, buddy. Okay, let's see what Kip has to say about this beer. So he says, we collaborated with Bottle Logic to create this decadent Imperial Pastry Stout. In addition to it being barrel-aged in Heaven Hill bourbon barrels for a year, this beer also features additional flavors of Madagascar vanilla bean and roasted pistachios. Wizard Stash pours a jet black brown with a frothy milk chocolate colored head. Okay, we're gonna stop there. The head is dissipated, but you did see it. It was milk chocolate. It had a little tint, like almost it was like raspberry milk chocolate. And if anybody hasn't invented that yet, someone please do, because that sounds really, really good. Like just like chocolate milk with like a little bit of frothy head with like a little bit of raspberry syrup. Not a lot, just a little. Sounds bomb. All right, let's get into the aroma here. Really nice. Okay, so let me give you what Kip's given us here. Rich aromas of cream, cocoa, Nutella, and Italian spumoni dominate the aroma, and many of these flavors follow through into the flavor. So let's see what we get on the nose. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what spumoni smells like. I don't know what roasted pistachio smells like, so I don't know if I can really call that out. Bad Dad Beer Review, what's going on, buddy? Conrad just opened this one. Wow, yeah, no, it's a flavor explosion. Okay, I'm getting that nuts on the nose. Wait, nuts on the nose. I didn't say that. Yeah, I got the roasted pistachios that give it kind of like an earthiness that really rein in that like intense sweetness. Cocoa, cream, a lot of that. Ovaltine versus Nesquik. Brews with Master says, I don't know. I've never had Ovaltine. I knew that nuts on the nose thing was going to go over well. If I turn this into another video, I'm going to take that, cut that out, and make sure it's in it. Wow, really nice nose. Super sweet, but not like over the top. It's actually kind of really well balanced. Mars, I knew I liked you, man, with that Seinfeld reference. Love it, love it. God, I don't know. Like, I kind of like don't need to drink this. I could just smell this the rest of the night because it is that good. It is that good. Whew, really nice. Okay, let's get into it. I gotta taste it. All right. This is fantastic. Okay, like kick things off with the mouthfeel. I mean, the first thing you notice when you drink some of these big beers is mouthfeel. And again, coming through with a mouthfeel that just, it doesn't overwhelm. It's not like super thick. It's not like a complete syrup bomb. It's up there. It's definitely more up there than the last one. But it still drinks like, I don't want to say dry because it does not drink dry at all. But it does, I think the pistachios do something to this beer that kind of like counteract all that like big sweetness, that Madagascar vanilla, that lactose. Ooh, kill 'em. You're missing out, man. Drinking the last beer in the lineup. Wizard Stash. Really like this beer a lot. This is such a good beer. I don't drink beers like this all too often. And honestly, I'm really glad there's only 12 ounces of it. Because this is one of those beers where when there is a 22 ounce bottle or one of those bigger formats, oh man, it can get big. Unless you're sharing it with a couple people, it can be a little bit intense. There's a sweetness here that is kind of getting to me. And I don't know if it's gonna come through in the camera here, but you can see that kind of like syrupy stuff that's kind of hanging out on the edges of this beer. And that is just what you come to expect for a pastry stout. Really, really well done. I mean, I gotta read the rest of this because there was an interesting note from Kip in this that I really liked, and I just remembered it because it's true. So, body is silky smooth, finishing with a oaky dryness. Balance isn't really a word you use to describe a beer like this, but barrel blending has a way of rounding everything out. Wizard Stash is an extremely drinkable, 12.8% stout, and features a complexly deep flavor profile that keeps giving and giving as the beer warms. I recommend sipping and savoring this one. So yeah, I was thinking of the balance on this beer, because obviously balance is something you throw out the window when it comes to pastry stouts, but what they did with the blend is really nice. I do have to give Ale Works credit for kind of like coming up with something, and maybe the Bottle Logic guys helped with this as well, because they're so well versed on the pastry stout that this is extremely well balanced. Really, really nice beer. Yeah, I don't know. Gotta give it up. Gotta give it up. Really good beer. So we're at about just over room temp on this beer right now. It's a little bit cool, but not cold. So I'm interested to see what this is like in about 10-15 minutes as it warms up a little bit. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna leave for 15 minutes and you guys are gonna wait, and then I'll come back and then I'll try it again. Okay. No, I'm not gonna do that. All right, so as always, I've hit the end of the tasting and I have to pick one beer. What is the one beer that I would choose to drink the entire can of? There is one beer here. There is one beer. I don't know if you know what it is, if you've watched this and you can kind of tell from what I've said. There is one beer that I would choose here. And so I'm gonna just run through real quick for all the last minute people that came in, what we went through, and then I'm gonna choose my favorite. So first thing, we kick things off, Space IPA, the classic. Light and hoppy, really nice. Scrappalicious, which is a very tropical, juicy IPA. Next was Lunar Kitten, 100% Simcoe, very straightforward, nice and bitter, great balance on this West Coast IPA. Then moved into the barrel-aged beers. It was heavy impulse to kick things off with that bourbon barrel-aged English barley wine. Then it was Russian Attack, the bourbon barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout. And last but not least, Wizard Stash that we just tasted. What a crazy beer. All right, let's see. Did anyone say anything? Good night, sweet prince. All right, Conrad's got it right. Russian Attack is the beer that I would pick in this lineup here. This is a fantastic stout, a fantastic barrel-aged stout. For me, barrel-aged usually goes way over the top, and I like it for the first 2.5 minutes, and then I'm just completely over it, and I'm ready to move on to something more hoppy and light and delicious. So for those of you who are guessing Lunar Kitten, this is my number 2. This is what I would go to after that. But the way that Ale Works executed this beer, I don't know, it's so well balanced. It has just enough of that bourbon aggressive character, and then a lot of really nice chocolate that ranges from sweet to bitter to everything in between. Incredible beer. Really like what Ale Works did with this beer. This year's version being blended with fresh Imperial Stout and then fresh barley wine as well. So yeah, I mean, Ale Works team, you guys got to do a vintage like side-by-side collab, because I cannot anymore. I don't have those cans. But I would love to see how this stacks up next to those older beers. But this is an incredible beer. Really like this. So for everyone tuning in, you know, buy LA beer, buy Ale Works beer, buy Ale Works barrel-aged beers. They have a mixed pack. I'm pretty sure it's still available, that has all these beers. So buy the mixed pack that has the barrel-aged beers, and then buy a separate pack of the Russian Imperial Stout that you can drink one of, you can share one of, and then take 2, put it in your cellar. Make sure you're doing things right on the temp and light standpoint. Keep them nice and fresh, and then drink one in like a few months, and then drink one in like 9 months or something like that. Just get some Russian Imperial Stout in you. All right. Conrad wins a can of Russian Imperial Stout. You're the big winner. Happy anniversary to Ale Works. Thank you for joining in the chat here. Really appreciate you guys joining in, and then everything you guys do. I think everyone in this chat, or at least most of them, are here in Los Angeles and are very aware of you and what you do, and I think everyone appreciates it. So Marty's gonna be there for pickup tomorrow. So yeah, if you're gonna check out Ale Works to pick up some of these beers, comment in and let them know. Make sure they know to expect you. All right, that was an hour-long tasting. I think one of the longer ones we've done. So I am going to wrap it up here. There's a lot of beers here. I gotta say, I can't finish them all, but that Russian Imperial Stout is going down all the way. I cannot wait to finish drinking it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It is a pleasure to hang with you guys every Friday, and I can't wait to do it again next Friday. Cheers to LA Ale Works for their anniversary. Enjoy the weekend, guys. Drink indie, drink local, drink good beer. See you next time.